Hi, my name is Jennifer Akemi and I help companies to improve their business by creating and implementing customer-centric strategies. And today, I'm going to present you my project on how to make HBO Max even better for its users. I used HBO Max here as an example, but you might be able to reproduce the same project on your own platform. So I hope that's helpful for you. I'm going to walk you through initial survey findings, usability tests, recommendation, satisfaction survey, and I'm also going to address the next steps for the future of this project. First, I conducted a survey because I wanted to understand the current context of HBO Max users. So what do they think about HBO Max right now? For that, I recruited only users who visited HBO Max at least once in the past 7 days because I wanted them to have a fresher memory of their experience. I had 16 participants, which is fine for a qualitative focused survey. They were about 25 years old from several states of the US, and the data collection was from July to August. So I asked them, what do you like the most about HBO Max? And for this question, I had two categories, so content and platform. The content-related answers were quality, variety, and amount of movies and TV shows, but also how it's categorized and recommended. And on the platform side, I had design and search engine. So what do they like the most? So the users really appreciate the quality that HBO Max brings for its productions and also the variety of themes that is explored in the catalog. And then I was also curious, what do they like the least about HBO Max? And for this question, the participants answered recommendation and categorization of content. And I will also like you to pay attention to search right in the platform side because it appears again in other parts of this project. So I asked them, if you could change one feature on HBO Max, if any, what would it be? And this question is important because it was an open-ended and non-obligatory question, so only people who really wanted to express their opinion answered this question. 3 of them said search engine, so they wrote, assessing search is annoying and improved search integration with Apple TV. 2 talked about recommendation, 2 about categorization, and for categorization they say they would like something like easy to get into or worth the time shows or pizza and beer shows, like something that better describes what I might be wanting. And then they also brought skip credits and intro that was not present on HBO Max by the time of the data collection. HBO's portfolio is not clear, interface design, watch together feature is something that they would like to include, and working node devices such as Apple TV 2. So with those priorities and desires in mind, I decided to conduct a usability test. So in the usability test, you basically give the user some tasks and then you observe them making it. So are they able to complete the task? Are they able to reach their goals? What is going on the platform and in the usability? So my research goal was understanding satisfaction, accuracy, and efficiency on the most highlighted features of the survey, which will be overall navigation, the search engine, categorization, and recommendation of content. For that, I recruited 5 participants from the survey. 5 is the number recommended to detect 85% of interface problems by the Nielsen-Norman group, which will be the best return over investment on a project like that. And the mean age was 31 years old. They were from Illinois, Texas, and Washington State. I used remote mixed methods, so in-depth interview, usability test with task satisfaction, and satisfaction survey that I adapted from the system usability scale. The test satisfaction I adapted from the single easy question, and both of those methods are very well known to understand and be able to extract satisfaction levels in small samples. I also conducted on HBO Max on the browser to help with the remote data collection. And now I'm gonna show you the top 5 findings of HBO Max usability test. So number 1, it's not possible to find the list of episodes within continue watching list that you have in your home page. So I gave them the task to find the episodes list, and as we can see in the video, they expected to click on the TV show, and when they find the episode page, they will scroll down and find the episodes down there. Alternatively, they also expected to have a button called episodes list or more episodes close to the add to my list button. And what happened? They made up to 3 attempts to complete this task. They took up to 1 minute, and they end up going back to the search engine, in this case, for example, searching for Friends and then finding the entire TV show page. They said, I feel annoyed and frustrated because it should have just been there underneath like most other apps that I used. I think it's something I come to expect from using Netflix. So they bring Netflix here as a benchmarking of streaming service usability. And on the single easy question, when I asked them, how do you think this task was? The average score was 5.4. That is very close to 7, which will be very hard to complete. So for this issue, my recommendation would be having the episodes on the bottom of the episode page, just like they expected to find, or alternatively, having a button called more episodes in the same page. So they will find it easier. The second finding was participants struggled to go to the homepage from the movie page. And this was a fun finding because it was not scripted. So we were doing the last task and I say, let's go back to the homepage and let's see what happened here. Let's go back to the homepage.
Well, you see, okay, that might be the thing to say, like, I don't know how to go back to homepage from here right now, because before I went back to homepage, clicking on the HBO logo on top, and right now it's gone, so how do I go back to homepage? I'll probably just, like, type HBO in my search bar.
So 3 out of 5 participants had problems going back to the home page. They took alternative paths such as clicking on the menu and the homepage button using the browser back arrow, so they will go back several pages until finding the home again, or typing the entire website address on the browser. And they say that HBO Max has inconsistent pages, that's why it's tough to go back to the home page. And they mentioned this experience again in the end of the session when I do the satisfaction survey. So it's a remarkable experience for them. They said, kind of wonder why there is no home button on the top. Like if this, pointing to HBO logo, stayed here, I could just click in and it would take me home. So my recommendation for this issue would be having the HBO Max on all of the pages very consistently, or alternatively, having a home button close to the search engine or close to the menu, just a home icon. Now, the third finding was there are no consensus or perceived value on what is being recommended. So I asked them, what do you think about the current recommendation of content? And what happened? So as we can see in the video, they start searching on menu and the home page for a category called recommended. They said, I don't know if I seen recommended content from HBO. Is it feature? They say that it looks like they give everybody the same. I'm not going to look for a movie based on whether it's in New York or not. So they don't know what is being recommended, and what they think is being recommended is not good enough for them. They expect to have content based on what they watched or most clicked categories, or also recommendation by mood. So they say sad movies, movies to feel good, happy movies. And they also say that they will take some time to answer a quiz if it will help HBO to give them better recommendations. One of them said, "You recommended I Might Destroy You was something new, but we already watched that. Why don't you pick up where I left?" So my recommendation for the navigation part, this part that people don't know what is being recommended, will be creating a recommended category close to originals, just added, or last chance, and also creating a list on the homepage, just like recommended for you, so people could easily find it. The next finding is search is fast and easy for specific titles, so it's a great positive feedback. I asked them to find the TV show The Newsroom as an example, and 5 out of 5 completed the task in 6 to 15 seconds, so it was like very fast. They had a very consistent click pattern. As we can see in the video, they will click on the search engine icon, they will type the newsroom, and then finding the TV show. They say the task was very easy and said it works just like would expect it to. It's pretty quick to sort of surface the results. So it's a great feedback for the search engine. It seems like the search engine on the browser has no problems, so there is no recommendation here. And the fifth finding is participants like HBO Max categories. Let's see what they say about it.
I like how it's separated out by the, I don't know, the franchise, I guess. I also like the last chance. Because it's like, oh, this is my last chance to watch this. So it makes me want to watch it more at that moment. I like just added too because I like to see what's new in the movies. So DC, I'll go to the DC page, and then I like how it's separated out by the character.
Mm-hmm.
So that's really nice.
So 3 out of the 5 participants say they like HBO Max hubs. 3 use the category movie A to Z because they like to scroll the entire HBO collection, and also use the add to my list feature. 2 commented on last chance and just added categories just like we saw in the video, and 1 mentioned DC. They say categories by studio is clever because it celebrates the brands and the companies that are affiliated with HBO. Gives you access to watching the content that they produce. So this is a great feedback. HBO Max users see HBO Max hubs as an innovative way to organize the content, and they like it. But they have also new ideas about how to make categories even better. So just like a brainstorm exercise, I asked them any suggestion on how the categories could be improved, and they brought very interesting solutions. So first, creating the categories on the carousel. So the first thing that they will see on the homepage will be their most clicked categories. They also talked about categories like views, which is interesting because they made a data collection before Hulu update their platform, and they now use categories like views. So it seems to be a thing that users really like. And they also say like doing a list of most used categories. The other option that they talked to me about would be having the option to exclude movies from the list A to Z, to having a A to Z personalized list for themselves. So they will scroll all the collection once, they will see the things that they are not into there, and they will be able to opt out to have their own list A to Z. The other option will be filtering inside the category. So in this case, the last chance will have an option to filter comedy or horror inside the last chance. And they also brought Pinterest an example for possibility to combine categories. So they will like, just as Pinterest, you can have like movie night and snacks, and for kids on HBO they will have comedy, crimes, or horror for family, and other categories that will be able to be combined. And the other idea would be filtering the content by year of release, IMDb scores, or other quality marker. And now I conducted the satisfaction survey. So I did all of those tasks in the session, and by the end of the session, I wanted to understand, were they satisfied with their experience today on HBO Max? And it was adapted from the system usability scale, and they gave us an average of 70.5 out of 100. For the system usability scale, any scoreable 68 is considered above average, so it's a good satisfaction. Users are satisfied with HBO Max. So now, why is it 70.5 and not 100? So the main offenders for this satisfaction level were problems on finding episodes from continue watching list, the lack of category recommended for you, that they expected it to be based on their behavior, and also one of the participants found an error page. But then on the other side, why is it 70.5 and not 0? So users really like the quality and exclusivity that HBO has on its content. They really give it a huge value. They also said that platform is simple and straightforward, and search is fast and intuitive. Now I can talk about the next steps. So before we start, I would like to introduce you to eye tracking. Eye tracking is a technology where you can understand where your user look at first and second and third, and then you can create this path, but also where do they look at for longer or where they don't look at all. You can conduct eye tracking tests on the screens, but also using eye tracking glasses, which will be good to understand interaction with supporting tools such as remote controls and also keyboards. And why I'm saying that? Because this is very important as a next step to conduct a test on the search engine and other devices. We saw in the survey that people say that search is annoying, search is tough, and on the usability test on the browser, it looks like search is fast and is amazing, is exactly like I expected it to be. One of the users said, I have tried searching on the Apple TV app as well, and I really hate the keyboard. It keeps going back and forth, which really frustrates me. So my hypothesis is that HBO Max search engine works very well on the browser, but it might have some problem with the integration with remote controls or keyboards of the smart TV. So it'd be very important to test the search in devices such as smart TV, Apple TV, Google Chromecast, tablets, and mobile phones. And it will be very helpful to have eye tracking for those tests. Also, as a next step, it will be important to fix error pages and conduct iterative testing. In iterative test, basically you understand the usability recommendations, you change your product based on them, and then you test. And then you understand, you change, and you test. My plan for this test will be, for the list of episodes within continue watching, having a test A-B, where A is the episodes list below the page, and the B is the button more episodes close to the add to my list button. And eye tracking will be very helpful to understand where people look at first when they are trying to find the episodes list, and also, is the button catching their attention or not? Can they see the button there? Second, when they try to go back to the home page from a movie page, will also be a test A-B, where A is the logo and B is the home icon. And the eye tracking will be interesting here to understand When you want to go back to the homepage, do you look first for the logo, or is the last resource after scanning the entire screen for a home icon? Third, the recommendation category and list. So for this one, it will be more about testing the new list, its placement, where should we put the recommendation category and the recommended for you list, and also the recurrency of use. So we are investing in this new recommendation system. Are people using? Do they like it? And the eye tracking will be good to understand when we say, where would you go to find content to watch today, for example? Do they look at the recommended for you list, or they don't even see it? Does it grab people's attention? And fourth, HBO categories. So understand the placement of categories, which part of the platform will be the best to put the categories there, and also testing the new functionalities. And also eye tracking will be very helpful. We will have 3 cycles. The first one with 30-minute sessions and non-clickable images, which is good because we don't want to spend too much time developing high-fidelity prototypes in this first step of the iterative test. The decisions we'll make will be between options A and B. Also, where is the best place to put the new recommendation category, the new categories functionalities. Are we going forward with all of them or with some of them? Do they make sense? And it will be good to have 5 participants for the group A, 5 participants for the group B, and it's essential that they are experts because they already know how HBO Max works, so they will have a better time and imagination with the non-clickable images prototypes. For the cycle 2, we have 30-minute sessions, but in a rapid iterative test. That basically, between sessions, you do the changes on the prototype and you test it again. And for this one, we will start with clickable images because we want to increase the fidelity on the prototypes. The decisions will be improvements from the cycle 1 to the cycle 2, but also fixing errors because every time we change the product, we are open to have new errors, so it's important to fix them. And this time we want novice users because we want to see if all the recommendations that the experts gave works also with the novice, or they will have to have some prior knowledge on HBO Max before being able to use it. And the third cycle, 30 minutes, rapid iterative test and high fidelity prototype, so it will be as close as it can from how it will work on HBO Max. And then improvements and fixing errors and novice and experts, just to be sure that the changes we made are working for everyone. And it's important to have the same tasks and satisfaction survey also from this usability test that I presented to you, because our goal is comparing the score increases and decreases to understand if the changes and recommendations that we are giving are really helping and increasing the satisfaction, efficiency, and accuracy of the tasks on HBO Max. And that was my project on HBO Max. I hope you like it. I hope you had as much fun watching it as I had presenting it to you. And if you want more details on this project, you can find it on the post that I made on my website. And also, if you have any questions, feedbacks, or you want any help with your own project, I would love to talk to you. You can reach me out on my email. And that's it. Thank you so much for watching, and bye-bye.